So that was
born at
Kingsley, it needs a kick now. Kingsley forward of the wing. A probing kick inside the 50, and Tredrea slipped, got up and still took the mark.
It's almost like he sold the dummy. He said, I'm not going for it. And then took the cash from behind. But the two young fellas on the wing here just got themselves out of trouble. Stevens, Wilson, and they had Kingsley to feed off to.
And they were so cool in it, weren't they?
They were.
No one panicked, just maintained possession of the ball, looking to create the opening.
Good clean ball handling's the secret there.
Well, if you just arrived in this country watching your first game of football, you would think Warren Tredrea is the greatest player the game's ever known. He's got his 6th goal. How about that?
A lot of hard work had gone into that because I played 96 in the SAFL Premiership and expected to go 97 to play most games and take the next step. But it was pretty tough. Didn't get many opportunities. I think the coach really rated me that highly, Jack Carl, and the rest of the selection. And I was pretty close to Choco in those early days, and he was the one that kept me focused, both he and Alan Stewart. So got a chance early in the year. I think the first game I played, about a minute 30, got donuts, had a donut in my locker. So it was I suppose it was a building combination. Round 2, played a half game, kicked 2. And then next week played about a half a game, kicked 3. So then all of a sudden I got myself into games. I think Scotty Cummings got suspended against Melbourne. I kicked 1 goal, done it right. So I was playing a role as like a third tall because I had Paulie playing centre half forward, Cummings playing full forward, and myself was sort of like the little tall skinny sort of swing man in the forward line, third tall stuff. So got an opportunity and confidence started to grow. Had a better game, kicked 1 against Fremantle, played as that key forward lead up, because I couldn't hold any body pressure because it was pretty skinny back then. But had the opportunity. Cummings, I said, got suspended, came out, and then all of a sudden we just ripped him to shreds. And I was probably on the end of it. Pluck and mark. Some of those days where I didn't even see the ball. One stage, jumped up, ball hit me in hands, marked it. Played on Peter Dean, who was probably in the twilight of his career in the last few years anyway. And, he was that half-back flanker back then, and whose now game was to play his defensive role, but to run off and get heaps of the ball. But he was up against a kid who probably didn't know too much out of it.
For Evans, but Tredrea, somebody should take a towel out for Peter Dean.
Probably wanted to belt the living suitcases out of, but I was just a young guy trying to make his mark, and ended up kicking 8 goals, dislocating my knee. I remember looking in the last quarter, only 15 minutes to go. How good was this? I'd kicked 8. Still I'm thinking here I might be a chance for 10 here, and then go for the next ball. My kneecap pops out and lying on the ground screaming, and didn't know what I'd really done, but thought it looked like it was dislocated. Barnesy straightened my leg out. If I'd known that, would have saved me a minute of pain. And from then I actually felt like I could play league footy. Before that I felt confident, but I hadn't almost, I knew within myself I could do it, but it was almost a bit of public vindication. So hey, people go, this bloke who wears teal socks, because we were wearing those stinking socks that day. We got all good young players, and it was sort of a make-out game, especially in Melbourne, breakout game in Melbourne, that people go, hang on, there's something here. I remember Dennis Committee's a little bit. He said, if you've just tuned in from another planet, you think that I was the greatest player on earth. So I always remember that quote. But as a youngster, I sort of got back to Adelaide, was still buzzing. My knee was the size of a house, and missed the next 6 weeks.
Warren Tredrea, take a bow, son.
So I was lucky enough after that to come back into the team, which sort of meant a lot of confidence. That I thought, well, hang on, I've actually broken down a barrier with a senior coach. He's starting to think this guy's got some talent. I was still rough around the edges, but it was probably a game where it was almost said, you know what, after all these little bits of doubts and ups and downs and not being rated by the coach, that I'd done enough to say that, hey, they reckon this guy can be a player.
Power, they rove it. Lyle kicks into centre half forward. That's a perfect kick. That is an absolute perfect kick. Warren Tredrea, 7 goals. Came into the game with a total of 7-4 from his 6. And has now kicked 7-4 in this game. So 6 games rolled into 1 here. The 1 game is going to beat the 6 because he's picked up his 8th goal. 8 goals to Warren Tredrea, and Port Power just march on.